Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Fuente and Meerapfel present Meet the Professor. Hello, world.
Hi.
Hello.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, Mr. Professor. How are you?
All good. Getting close to Christmas today for Swedish and many people it's Santa Lucia, so that's important for us, for Emma especially, and Jasper. But other than that, just seeing the end of year, and I wish the 31st of December would be tomorrow to say adios, arrivederci, sayonara, abul, adios to 2020.
Yeah, 2020 was a hell of a year. A lot of very bad things happened, and thank God a lot of very good things happened as well, and a lot we have to be grateful for. But I hear you. I think a lot of people are going to be happy to pop that champagne bottle open in a couple of weeks from now.
Oh yeah, we have 2 bottles of Dom Perignon put aside and some special cigars. Couple of special cigars from Carlito that I've had for maybe 15, 16 years. So that's definitely one of those because that day, God willing, we're going to say adios and never come back.
Those cigars sound interesting. I might get on a plane and come and join you for a few minutes.
Yeah, why not?
Melanie, how are you?
I'm excellent. And so is this cigar. Shout outs.
Kaza Kupa.
Yeah, everything is going great. We're also getting ready for, well, not a whole lot of people are coming in town, but Mark's daughter's coming in town. So that's kind of okay, Christmas is here. It's happening.
Christmas is here. That's right.
You never really feel it down here.
That's right. And for all my brothers and sisters out there, happy Hanukkah. I know it's the 4th candle tonight. And may your lives be blessed with lots of lights. May your lives be blessed with lots of health, and may darkness be, ripped to shreds. I think that would be the good way to put it. There's a lot of people that logged on today. We have a hell of a guest of honor, somebody who's going to bring this show to the next level today. We're very, very, very excited. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no introduction to be made. Everybody knows her. Mrs. Berta Bravo. Berta, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me. It's an honor, a true honor.
Berta,
well, Berta, you're part of the family.
Encyclopedia, yes. How are you?
It depends. They're throwing a lot of hard questions to me lately. I don't know. Berta, let me tell you something. I've known you for many, many years. I know the hard work that you've done and your reputation, your honesty, and when I did my post, I said a true passionate sister of the leaf because you are. And I thank you for the friendship, what you've done for women smokers, how close you've been to the Fuente family. To me, I think it's Berta Bravo / Fuente sometimes because you've done so much for the family and so close to the family. But anyway, let's start. First of all, Berta, you were
Talking about
born.
the family, I must admit, I see Liana Fuente is on the chat here today for you, Berta. I see that there's Cynthia. So the whole Fuente family is there just waiting for you to start this. I think everybody's
Elena
on
and my chosen sister.
Yeah, but then the problem is, where is Carlito?
Ah,
Oh dear. Oh
yes.
dear.
Anyway,
All right, we'll let Jose start the show now. Jose, the ball's in
Yeah.
your court.
okay. Berta, you were born in Cuba. At the age of 9, you
Yes.
came to this country. Did you come to Miami at that time?
Yes, straight to Miami. Freedom House.
Okay. Freedom House. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I know it's a question we have to bring to the majority of the Cubans. Unfortunately, some were born here. A lot of people were born there and had to come out here after 60, Mariel, all the things that happened and continue to happen. But anyway, okay, so you went to school, you did your high school, your university, whatever it was. So what was Berta's Bravo first job?
I was doing Manning and Petty at home on the weekends while I was going to school. And then I wanted to be a hairdresser. My father said no. And then I just kept on in business administration and finance.
So the old man said, no vas a arreglar cabellos.
He says, that's not a job. That's slavery.
Let me ask you something. Do you remember, Berta, what was your first cigar, when, and where?
Ay, Jose, it was awful.
Don't say the
My
brand
son
if you
had
don't
to.
want to.
No. It was no brand. We went to a party, my son and I, and I told him, listen, if I'm going to learn, let's do it now. Let's start. If you can do it, I can do it. Because we had just signed up to go to the first IPCPR in 2008. And he told me, Mom, are you sure? And I go, sure, you can do it. It can't be that hard. Oh, my God. I turned green, purple, blue. He kept saying, Mom, please go to the bathroom. You're embarrassing me. Mom, you're embarrassing me. That was my first cigar, Jose. A no-brand cigar in Coconut Grove at a party.
Really?
Mm-hmm. My first IPCPR. Joey must have lit my cigar a million times because for the life of me, I could not light this thing up. I tried, but I was not successful at all.
You know, Berta, a couple of years ago, I was with my good friend Rene Cardona visiting you, and we started, talking back and forth. And you told me a story that I think it's worthwhile saying it because it's a good friend of all of us here. So you're at the show. So who was the person that really came out and introduced you to people and kind of guided you at that time?
Jose, I was blessed. I was blessed. When I first walk into the show and I see all the smoke and all the booths and all that, I was dressed in white. And I just looked up and I said, Dad, please help me pull this off. And we had 18 boxes, 16 by 16 by 16 in a 10 by 10. First thing, Brian Levine used to work for the IPCPR, and he told me, Miss Bravo, there's been a cancellation in another booth. Would you mind changing? He gave me a 10 by 30, just like that. So I said, okay, Dad, you're doing really good. Keep it up. Minutes later comes Ernesto Perez Carillo, whom I love and admire. He introduces himself and he told me, You look like a hardworking woman. Finish setting up and I'll come get you in a little bit so that I can introduce you and take you around. And that's exactly what he did. My first order he placed for 300 guayaberas. And he introduced me to every single other manufacturer he could think of. And I will forever be grateful and honored.
Yeah, I know you told me the story. I mean, Ernesto's that type of a person. And on the show, we've had a lot of people, and we've heard of people, a lot of people on other shows that have said, you know, Ernesto helped him with this, he helped me with tobacco, he helped me with molds, he helped me with that. And I know Jeremiah, Carlito, myself, Don Carlos, very close to Ernie, Benji, and I mean, Ernesto is one hell of a person. So, of all the people that you have dealt with in your business, I'm going to put it to you in two ways. Who's the hardest person that you have had to dealt with the guayaberas and all that?
The hardest?
You can take the fish if you want.
No, because he knows I love him. And the hardest person I've had to deal with, and it was because he is to the very last detail of perfection. And I learned a lot from him, and I admire and respect him, is Alcides, Pepin Garcia's nephew from my father's cigars.
Really?
Yes. The logo had to be perfect. So in pushing me to perfection, I was seeking other embroiderers and other people that to guide me and help me do my father logo perfect. So the hardest one, definitely Acidito, but I love him to pieces.
Yes. Okay, so I'll put it to you easy. And the easiest guy to deal with?
The easiest guy to deal with, I don't know. I don't know. When it comes to cigar, there's everybody wants their brand to be represented as perfect as possible. So, Félix Mesa, Bentica, lo que tú quieras. You do whatever you want. You're the boss. You know what looks good. You know how to make it happen. So, you do it.
It's Felix is really good people. You've had a very long relationship with the Fuente family. Some of them consider you an aunt. Carlito and Cynthia, I think they consider you like a sister. So all this love, cariño, friendship with the Fuente family, and I know you adore Don Carlos. That I know for a fact.
Yeah.
How did this all start?
With my chiquilina, Liana. Yeah. She looked at me, she hugged me, I hugged her back, and it was instant family. So there was no pretense. There was no, what am I going to get out of this? No. When she wanted something, she would ask. I never sold her guayaberas. I waited always for her to tell me. And this goes beyond the cigars, goes beyond the guayabera. It goes beyond anything. We love each other and we respect each other. And we are proud to be with each other.
And Cynthia?
And Cynthia, she was my chosen sister and I was her chosen sister immediately. We've been through thick and thin, ups and downs, tears and laughter. And she's my sister. Honored.
That I know. But, we can't leave Carlito out. And Carlito?
Ay, Dios mío, Carlito. I'm not going to answer until he's on the show. How about that?
You gotta love me. I'm the baby.
From nervous giggles to a definite maybe.
Love you, Berta. So happy to see you.
I love you,
Looking,
baby.
looking beautiful as always. God bless you and your
Thank
family.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
You know that you're my second favorite. You know who's my first favorite.
I know.
And I know you're with her. You give her a big hug for me. Tell her that Berta, the Betica, the most beautiful woman I've ever met in my life, that I want the whole world to know that I send my love to her. And you are her daughter. So your beauty shines because of your mom and, of course, your father, which I never had the privilege to meet. But I love your mom so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you.
Me too. Hey, sis, what's
It's
up?
all about
Hello
the
there.
blue.
Hey.
About the blue.
Hey,
Hi, I love you.
Welcome, Berta, to Meet the Professor show.
Yes. Thank you.
Hello,
What an
beautiful
honor.
lady. My chosen
Hi,
sister of
hi.
belief and of
My
everything.
chosen sister and of everything. Yes. Through thick and thin.
I agree. How are you this afternoon? Beautiful, right? I've been so excited for
Doing
this
excellent.
show. I've been
Doing
so
excellent.
excited.
Me too. A little bit nervous and everything, but it's okay.
Yeah, but that's natural. That means that you're into it and you love it.
I
When
know.
we have
I
the
do.
passion, we always feel that adrenaline going.
Mm-hmm.
And I love all your background. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Now, do you have a little cocktail going? Because I haven't. I thought it was too early for a Sunday. I might have to change.
It's 5:00 somewhere.
I agree.
It's 5:00 somewhere. Hello.
I have my cafecito going, but I think I might have to change.
You know what? I didn't know what I was going to have. I made cafecito and I made the cocktail. And I said, nah, cocktail's fine.
I know. Cocktail's ready. Good, good, good. What are you smoking today?
I dressed for it. Blue.
The blue.
The blue, the blue, the blue, the blue.
There you go. Beautiful. I know. I know.
I dressed matching.
Color blue. I have some blue going on in my blouse too.
I know.
You know, so tell us, I mean, God, how do you feel like you've connected with everybody this year, all your sisters and brothers of the Leaf? Like, how have you maintained that through everything that we've been through in this 2020?
Zoom, FaceTiming, group FaceTiming, group smokes. It's been actually phenomenal. Yeah. Through everything else that's going on, it's been phenomenal. I sit in the backyard and let's chat and let's smoke, and it doesn't take the place of the lounge like we used to.
Right.
But we improvise.
Oh yeah, no, we do the best we can. Absolutely, 100%.
And like Mango Joe says, cigars are not addicting.
I'm sorry, I have this wonderful lady that's helping me today clean.
It's okay. Like sorry. Mango Joe says, it's not about cigars.
Oh God, sorry. What now?
It's okay. Like Mango Joe says, cigars are not addicting. Cigar people are.
Oh,
so we haven't let's touch.
Oh my God! You know what? You have to join us. Hello, Melanie. How you doing, darling?
I am good, ladies. How are you guys?
Happy Sunday.
Hi.
I have to invite you to the virtual cigar lounge that Andy welcomed us on. Carlito and I go on, and Melanie on Friday nights. That's our Friday night.
Okay.
Our big time Friday.
I'll be there Friday.
It's gotten really big.
Well, Friday is Joey's birthday, so I don't know.
What now?
So I just
Friday is Joey's birthday.
Oh, this coming Friday. Any Friday. It doesn't matter. Any Friday.
We go on there every Friday.
Tell us, Melanie, what now?
Okay.
I just want to let everybody know that we are still trying to nail the professor. And Berta, go ahead. You can even try to nail the professor if you've got a good question.
And are you kidding? I call him the encyclopedia. There is no way on earth that I could nail him. And so I give up. I mean, I have what's that guy's name that always wants to nail him? Noah from Canada, from Toronto, Alex. That he always tries and has never been able to. I will definitely. I give up. I
You
mean,
never know.
I plead
You
the
never
fifth. I
know.
will
Well-
not ask the professor. I call him the encyclopedia.
Well, any of you guests that are viewers that are watching, you guys can go ahead and put your questions inside of the question area or the chat, and then we'll pick a question out soon to be able to see. And you can win a bobblehead. So
Somebody nailed him not too long ago. I was surprised. I think we've nailed him twice or 3 times in the whole show since March.
I
We're
think he
so
did on
lucky. We're
purpose
so
to
No.
lucky
make
to have
everybody
this
feel
thing.
good.
No one has ever nailed the professor. It was a trick question that didn't have an answer. No one has ever nailed them. I'm testimony to that. I could nail him easily many times, but I don't want to embarrass him, alive around the world. So I'll keep my questions to myself.
Oh, you could. I know you could. For sure. Or he can nail you. One or
Oh,
the
for
other.
sure. That would be easy one for him to nail me. But it's okay.
oh lordy.
Hey, well, I'll needle him and he'll needle me.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
exactly. One of these days we'll have to get you guys on a debatable question. That would be excellent to watch you guys debate a question.
I agree. So, Berta, tell us that, being a sister of the leaf and being in this beautiful industry, like, how do you feel? What are your advantages that you feel about being the beautiful woman that you are? Being a woman, like your experience, your journey since you started with the Guayaberas in the United States, I'm saying. Like your
Well,
journey.
I truly believe that women in the cigar industry are underestimated. Mind you, this comes from a woman that does not believe in women's lib. I love my door to be opened, my chair to be
of
pulled.
course, 100%.
I love to be walked on the inside of the street, not on the outside. But
I agree with all of that.
But like, I remember the first time I threw my cigars in my purse, and Joey said, "Mom, you can't do that. Cigars are like a lady. You hold them, you take care of them, you respect them." They took 300 pairs of hands to. They took 300 pairs of hands to make the cigar you're smoking. You just don't throw it. So the industry needs us. We have proven ourselves to the industry, and cigars need to be caressed. Cigars need to be. That's why it's so important to have a woman's touch in the making of the cigar. That's my take on it. I'm very passionate about smoking, and I'm very passionate about the industry.
And you think,
Hey, I'm like this with the moderator because I'm in the backstage
go,
and I
Carlito!
want to get on because let me
This
tell you,
is
Berta,
awesome.
Berta,
This
you
is
just
so
said
good.
the words I've been waiting for so long to hear. The cigar world has never been better as that it is today, with so many women now coming out and enjoying cigars. And we do need that delicate touch of a woman, that special touch that no man could give, which surpasses any man's feelings and emotion. Is the tenderness of a woman. That is what needs to come out in the forefront of the cigar industry. And I'm so glad you touched on that, because the women have always been in the backstage, behind the scenes, in the making of all great cigars.
Mhm.
And now finally, I see so many women from around the world enjoying the leaf, enjoying the companionship, and the things that we all love so much. And nothing makes me happier than that.
I'm happy to hear that. I
Thank you.
agree. I so agree. I know. And like you said, that cigars are to be treated like a lady, because if you notice, I'd love to see on social media how when people get a mail call, a mail, MAIL, and they're so excited, right? When Arlene gets her special cigars, and like everybody treats them so beautifully, and they lay them out and they look at them and they put them side by side, and then they place them in their humidor. They treat them so preciously.
Cynthia,
Yes.
let me remind you of my earliest teachings from my grandfather.
Okay.
My earliest teachings of tobacco and cigars. And if there's a Jorge Padron, Ernesto Perez Carillo, a Benjamin Menendez, or any other of the great people that have the same teachings and the same beginnings as I do, that we all learn from the same book. If we learn from our Cuban Bible, my grandfather taught me at a very young age, very, very young. I was probably when I was 5 or 6, started telling me this over and over. And every Cubano who was taught tobacco has heard this. Tobacco, the leaf, it's like a beautiful woman. You have to gain her respect. You have to be gentle and caress it. And you get that leaf, and as you caress it and you warm it up, you caress it, the leaf opens up to you. It's a romance. Tobacco is feminine. I was taught that. That was my first lesson in cigars. El tabaco es una dama. Tobacco. And there is this Jose. So just so you know, so nobody gets you, because this is one thing that they might nail you on. Tobacco has feminine and masculine traits. The rarest tobacco, the tobacco we look for, is the feminine tobacco to make our cigars. And that is the honest, absolute truth. So I'm sure the professor knows that. And, tobacco como una mujer. Tobacco is like a woman. You have to treat her with respect and caress it. And she will open to you, and she will share her world and your love with you. And that is my earliest teachings.
I love that. Beautiful. Beautifully said.
Love it.
And it's not from now. It's something that goes back generations and possibly hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
There's always something to
Love
learn,
it.
but it's true.
I'm so glad that Joey told me that.
Professor, I hope you're listening.
Yes, I am. Don't you
I'm
hear
going to
me?
excuse myself just 1 minute. I'm going to get my earphone.
As a matter of fact, we haven't seen you for the last. We were trying to hold the show. I haven't, since you're the host. We were trying to hold the show. We haven't seen you for the last 10 minutes or heard from you. Now I see
Carlito,
everybody.
we cut them off for about 15 minutes to give the public a break. They needed a breather.
Are you here?
I wish,
Are you
Jeremiah, I wish you'd do that more often.
okay? Are you guys hearing me now or not?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, no.
Yes.
What I was saying is, Carlito, also the tobacco and the fields, and Jeremiah knows this too. The tobacco talks to you.
Absolutely.
El
Talks to
tabaco
you.
te habla.
In the fields and through every single
It
step in the
whispers.
process of making cigars. And it talks to you what's on a cigar too. When you look at it, it talks to you.
It talks to you.
And
shouts
there's-
at you.
And there's a lot of people with a mentality in a formation way beyond us who look at the ashes and it talks to you, the ashes. And they could tell you a lot of things about your life or about the past, or you can also see a lot of things about the construction of cigar through the ash. So,
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could tell you about the magnesium, the soil, the pH. There's so much things that
I
can tell
love
you about.
I love studying big ashes.
There you go.
I'm the baby. Gotta love
Here we
me.
go
I'm
again.
the baby.
There you go. There you go.
Berta, let me tell you something. The other night I was talking with Carlito, and I said, "Oh, I was so glad that you saw Berta." And Carlito goes, "Oye, esa mujer, she smoked 3 cigars. You should have seen the way she was going. Oh my God, that woman can really puff on the opus and anything out there." And I said, "Yeah, I know that, Carlito. You don't have to tell me that." Berta, let me
He
ask you
told me,
something.
damn.
Oh. Let me ask you something. You, without a doubt, you have, how would you say, been as a woman, a leader, not only in your business, but as a sister of the leaf, which I've been in many places doing events all over the country. And a lot of people say, "Oh my God, do you know Berta?" And I said, "Yes, she's so nice. We see her at the show. She's so passionate about it. She's so elegant. But the way she handles herself, and she's always willing to converse with men and women to help them understand and to smoke cigars." And I know that one of your best friends is one of my best friends, which is Mango Joe Phillips, which I've known for 20 years. So Joe, you're probably hearing the show, a good friend. But what do you, as Berta Bravo, as a person, that's been recognized by many sisters and brothers of the leaf. Do you tell this young generation of women that sometimes are afraid to walk into a lounge to ask an opinion? What do you tell that generation, that new generation of women smokers, and women in their 30s, 40s, 50s that might be hesitant to mingle with the guys?
To do a little bit of research before they start smoking, to learn the story. For me, a cigar is passion, is hard work, it's integrity, it's loyalty. It's every cigar has a story behind it. It's not just, and when you take that puff and you put it in your mouth and you savor it, it becomes a part of you. It's like making love to the cigar, honestly. It's the story, the history behind it,
Berta, this is where Carlito and I are going to
everything
wake up.
beautiful put into it, the sacrifice, the work, the blood, sweat, and tears of each and every cigar family that had started from nothing to create a masterpiece.
Well, Berta, to be honest with you,
That's how I feel.
I agree. You hit it on the nail. I've never said this before, but it's the honest truth. I make every cigar thinking that cigar is going to make love to a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the way I could put my heart and soul behind every cigar, and thinking that I'm going to make someone have a special moment.
It's a love story. Love story.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 1/2 the hour, and it's that time of the day. Professor, you better put your seatbelt on right now. Melanie, you ready?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right.
All right, let's go. It's, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nail the Professor.
All right. Are we starting? So, hey guys, how's everybody doing? I got a question here that I kind of like. It's from Chet King. Question for the professor: what are the first names of the sisters who make the Eye of the Shark?
Oh, well. I've seen them at the factory, but I don't know the names of them, because you have to understand. People have to understand. I've been friends with Carlito many years, but I've been in the factory 2 or 3 times. Sometimes I've just been in his office with him. I want people to ask me questions about tobacco, about seeds,
All right,
about fermentation, curing. The sisters, Carlito, you can give them the answers, and I don't know. I've seen them once, maybe.
What about
just for getting Jose worked up, that was worth a bobblehead in itself.
I know.
Yeah.
What's the origin of the term stogie?
Oh, I think that comes from, I'm pretty sure I heard it. It comes from, it was from England, but I don't remember really. I think it was somebody in London, but I'm not sure about that. But again, ask me questions about tobacco, please.
I have to agree with Liana here. I think you just got nailed, Professor.
Yes. If they're gonna nail me like that, so it be.
Uh-oh, 2 for 2. Says
God.
Liana. This is good. All right, let's get one more question in there, but let's find a question that's very tobacco related. Because if you're going to nail the professor, you better do it correctly. None of this half-ass, right?
All right, here we go.
Joe Phillips, nice try. That's not a tobacco related question.
And he's my friend.
All right, so if I know all non-Cuban cigars are ready to smoke, but if you decide to age some, they will become better potentially, and how many years after them being rolled is the best to age them?
See, that's a tobacco question. And then I would have to answer, it depends on the tobacco. Because if you had bad tobacco and you put the cigar together and you put it away for 5 years, it's going to be a bad cigar in 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years. Cigars, you have to have quality tobacco on them. And of course, in time, they're going to get better. They're going to harmonize more. They're going to lose in time a little bit of flavor, a little bit of strength, but they will be much better. But get out of your heads, all my good friends that are out there, because I've said it a million times. When you're going to put away a box of cigars to age, put away a good box of cigars with good tobacco, with good aged tobacco. But bad tobacco, you can put it, you make the cigar today, leave it a year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, it's going to be a bad cigar all the time. And all cigars, to be honest, do not age the same. I'll tell you something. A lot of people I see put away mild cigars for 8, 10 years. Why would you want to leave a mild cigar with a Connecticut wrapper for 10 years? Medium body, full flavor cigar, strong cigars, put them away in time, and they're just going to get better. But at the end of the day, it's all about the tobacco. Now, Carlito, Jeremiah.
I think we're going to have a little debate here. Carlito, what do you think about this?
You know what? I can't disagree with the professor. It's absolutely right. It has to do with the tobacco. And if I think a cigar, if the tobacco is not aged properly and so forth, my experience is that you put it away, a cigar, once it's made. Hopefully it's not one of our cigars, but you put it away and it's going to lose some of its characteristics, and it's going to mellow out and everything. So you're going to, the fact that it wasn't aged properly before the cigar was made, you're going to diminish that effect. And if you don't have a good palate, you won't notice it. But if you're a cigar guy, if you don't make the cigar properly from the beginning, it's never going to really, you're never going to take away the defects. It will be there. The best thing to age cigars as a professor, and also the conditions that you age the cigars, the best humidity and the best temperature. And I've learned through my experience in life that different cigars really require different humidities. And if the humidity is, I mean, to enjoy, to smoke, some cigars smoke better at maybe when they're kept in 62% relative humidity. Some cigars when they're 68 or 72. It depends on the tobaccos. But I have learned through my experience is that you got to be careful with humidity, because if humidity is too high, your cigar is going to age quicker. And probably if it's an old cigar, you want to keep it a little drier, but not to the point that it breaks. So it ages slower, and you could retain the essential oils in that tobacco, and there's not much fluctuation. I think that the key is to maintain consistency and not fluctuation in temperature and humidity. Because if you go back to the theory of curing tobacco, it's always temperature and it's humidity. It's moisture, dryness when you cure, moisture, dryness. Picks up moisture in the morning, it gets dry and so forth, and it starts breaking down the unwanted characteristics of the leaf into a cures. But the same thing happens through fermentation, and it happens through aging. And the more that oxygen touches your cigars and you have fluctuations in humidity and temperature, you get to the point that you're breaking down the essential oils of the cigar, and eventually you lose aroma and flavor. So I think that humidity plays a big part, and I agree with the professor 150%. It has a lot to do with the tobaccos, the blend, the body of the cigar, the strength of a cigar, and how much it will stand for aging and so forth.
But not only that, Carlito.
Cigars, you had to have the last word, huh?
But of course.
Of course.
Listen, but not only that. Some cigars, let's say a Maduro with a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, is going to smoke much better, age more better at 65 to 66. And then you have cigars with wrappers, could be Cameroon, could be Connecticut, and it's you're probably going to want it at 69, 70, 71.
That's where
the humidity plays a huge part. And when people tell me, well, my cigar's kind of moldy, the first thing I tell them, what's the hydrometer looking at? Oh, it's looking at 85, 86. I said, throw them all away because they're dead.
That's where you and I disagree, and we go back to no one's right, no one's wrong. We'll have our own book, but I think that the Maduro, like you said, Connecticut broadleaf is very rich and oily. I think it's best to keep it at 65.5% relative humidity. I think if you go to 66, then you are probably, I think 65 and a half.
I'm sending you by fax right now my resignation. You just got to break my balls.
Of course. That's my job. And that's the job I love the most.
Let's continue with Berta. Berta, I'm going to ask you a question that, to be honest, it's the first time, and I don't know, because I used to do it in my seminars a lot. And I don't know why. I just making some notes today. I said, I'm going to ask Berta this question. If you had the opportunity to smoke a cigar with one person for an hour, hour and a half, a coffee and a drink, dead or alive, who would it be?
My father.
Did he smoke
Definitely
cigars?
my dad. No, but I didn't either. So we both learned.
Thank you. It's a great.
Definitely my dad. Listen, 1 hour with him. Definitely.
Yeah, I'd probably go down that road too. My dad did 6, 7 cigars a day and lived to be 90. So it's I learned a lot from him. Berta, you've seen the rulings that the FDA has been in our favor. We have won a small battle. And you've been in the business for a long time. You know a lot of manufacturers. You've seen the good, the bad, the ugly. If you were to give an opinion about the industry, how we should all get together. I've said that we need people to get off their high horses, put egos aside, try to really unify. What would be the message that Berta Bravo would give to the companies out there, big, small, medium size? What do you think we should all do to keep the fight on?
Forget the name and become one to fight against the higher. That is it. There is very little unity between, every cigar manufacturers, they all get along. But when it comes to working together, to really putting everything into making this work, we lose some big names that could help us out. Store owners, big and small, join forces. It's all for our benefit. At the moment, we're not united. Most pretend to be united, but we're not. We have to fight together. This is a big fight.
Definitely. It's so true. Berta, you visit. I think Carlito wants to say something there.
No, I definitely agree, and I'm not going to be confrontational today because I'm the president of one of my most beautiful and loved ladies in the world. So I'm not going to be confrontational. I'm not going to say how all those assholes pretend that they're supporting the industry and all they're doing is taking money to the bank and they haven't given shit and they got their pretty face and they come out in magazines and they talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. I'm not going to become confrontational today. No, today's Sunday and I'm the president of a beautiful lady.
Thank God you're calmed down today.
Yeah, but you know what? You're starting to get the ants in my pantalones are starting to move, you know? You're touching a subject. You're hitting a subject that I just don't understand. When everybody benefits, I just don't understand how there's so many people that have become millionaires in this industry
I
and
agree.
everything, and have not. If they give something, it's just to get Glenn Loof off their back or something, but it's insignificant. I don't
I agree.
understand that.
Me neither.
My sentiments
Berta,
precisely.
Berta, let me ask
Yes,
you
Jose.
this. You go and have been visiting shops all over the country, and you know a lot of people. I want you to tell me, in your opinion, what makes a shop successful and unsuccessful? A cigar shop.
Successful, the host, the owner, the employees, they make you feel at home. They remember your name. They remember the cigar you like. And if you're a first-time customer, they make you feel like this is home. A cigar shop lounge is home. It's a place you sit and get away from it all. And there's times that we've been chatting for 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, 2, 3, 4, 5 cigars, and they make you feel homey. That's my idea of being successful. You come in, regardless of how beautiful the cigar shop is, you come in and you're sitting in one corner and that's it. You paid your cigars, you paid your drink, and no one else comes to see you, to talk to you, to try to. I believe that sooner or later, people start going to other places. Loyalty is the key to a cigar shop success. Make that first-time customer become loyal to you. That's it.
And I think that's an important message for many things in life, Berta.
Mhm.
Beautiful and well said. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go on to Melanie's hotspot, we have a very important announcement to make. Many of you know this gentleman out there, but we'd like to pay homage to him. Let's all wish Mr. Steven Spector a happy, happy birthday. It is his 50th birthday today. Happy birthday, Steven.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Stephen, guys.
Happy
He's
birthday.
been so wonderful to us this year.
He is, absolutely.
Many blessings.
Happy birthday.
I hope you saw that.
Happy birthday, Steven. Wishing you lots of health and love,
Yes.
blessings. And now for you, Melanie, it's time for the hotspot.
Oh,
maybe the one that Steven's been waiting for, actually.
oh, that's great. So, believe it or not, actually, the question I was going to ask you was kind of answered in the beginning. So I was gonna go with something easy about your first cigar encounter, but I think we already discussed that, right? So
Yes.
how about have you ever had a rookie move that you just were, maybe it was while you're running into business with the other guys?
I'm sorry?
I was just saying, have you ever had a rookie
You were cutting
move?
out, Melanie.
Sorry, I don't know why.
You're cutting off.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. So let's just go with something else. What is something, what you obviously know what a pet peeve is? Do you know what a pet peeve is? All right. So what would be one of your pet peeves? All right. It's not world known, but so what's one of your pet peeves?
I don't know. Honestly, I've never thought of it that way. My best moments is smoking a cigar with my son, enjoying it. Yes, that definitely. It's been 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're just sitting, drinking, and smoking, and it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. That's one of my pet peeves.
Fantastic.
Berta, I'm going to ask you a question.
Hold on. Before we go back to Berta, There are so many tobacco questions, Jose, which have just landed here. I think Carlito, yourself, and I should go through a few of them. Let's try to pick one or two up.
I think it's Carlito sending in the questions.
Exactly. So there's one here from Brian Lewis. It's very good. Why, when blending, do the thickest leaves go in the center of the cigar? And okay, there's a problem with the typing here.
Oh,
Let's say the thinner leaves go around the center of the cigar.
That's
Do you agree with that question first of all?
Yeah. First of all, we look. That is a very important question that Carlito, myself, we have talked about that for years in my seminars. And I tell people, first of all, whether it's a viso or ligero, has to go exactly down the middle. And I even tell people, take the foot of the cigar, and it depends if it's a book or entubado. You're going to see in the middle that spot that looks totally brown, dark brown, and sometimes even black. And all the rest of it will have a different color. If you don't center that viso or that ligero right down the middle, the cigar will canoe, will tunnel, and totally smoke different. And that's why I always tell people, you can have the greatest master blender in the world. You could have the oldest aged tobacco in the world. But at the end of the day, if that roller does not center those leaves, whether it's entubado or it's accordion, whatever you're doing it, right in the middle, the blend will not be for Carlito, Juan Sosa, myself, Pepin, Jorge Padron, whoever it was, if it's not done like that. It's a good question. Then all the rest, the binder and the wrapper. But the most important part is that ligero and that viso is right down the middle. Now, if Carlito says I'm resigning, he says it's not like that.
No,
but you haven't answered the question.
No.
You're talking about canoeing, but what about everything else?
No.
Nope.
I'm gonna answer it the way I was taught by the professor, because that's something that I learned by the professor, studying him. It's not always the darkest leaf that goes in the center. It's the slowest burning leaf that should go in the center because of the contribution, the aid of heat that goes into the center. And if you study, the hottest point is always the tip, the center on anything, on the flame. It's always the center. And you have to be careful, because if you have a quick burning tobacco that is dark, because it's the nature of the seed, it may not be in the center. It could be on the side, but it burns quicker. The slowest burning tobacco, and usually is a viso ligero, usually. But in tobacco and cigars, don't look at me with that face of disappointment. You taught me this.
No, I always said the viso or the ligero, and sometimes it looks dark, and it's true. Sometimes you have that ligero that's really, it could be yellow. It doesn't matter. But the viso or the ligero has to be in the middle. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. So, okay. Somebody else try to get a better question. It's a great question. It is.
No, I agree.
It's very important for the combustion and everything, because, think about, these are solids. When you cook food or you're making wine, you blend everything together and so forth, and you cook it, and it becomes sort of uniform, unless you take out the chicken out of the stew or you take out the carrot. But when you taste the liquid, it's all pretty uniform. With cigars, you're blending solids. Even though it marries and so forth, ages together, you have a certain fusion. But if the cigar is not burning correctly, you're tasting different leaves. And if it burns a little bit on this, you're not getting the whole flavor and the balance. And something's very important in every cigar. You could have the same exact tobacco from cigar to cigar, and the compression, the amount of air that's going through, the way you draw on a cigar, all these subtleties have a big impact on the overall enjoyment of a cigar. So there's so many things that, we could be on this program forever. We'll never learn everything. We'll learn something new every day. And everybody has an opinion. And I don't want to continue what the next sentence is.
But you know what also, Carlito? The way the person smokes. People who smoke fast are the ones that always complain about sourness and bitterness. Why?
Exactly.
Because they're putting so much heat, and the essential oils are evaporating, and it's like smoking paper. That's why I always tell people, You need to smoke a Robusto. Bottom line is 50 minutes to an hour, hour and 10. Then the Churchill, and then the bigger size. You have to take your time.
Jose, I'm gonna do. Melanie loves to hear stories, and I'm gonna tell you about stories. And I'm gonna just mention something. I know I want to hear more from Berta, but you know, there's a dry smoker and a wet smoker, and that affects the taste of cigar also. And I remember many years ago in Tampa, someone you may know, very close to Benjamin Menendez, Emilio Cejas. People, the old people in the industry will know Emilio Cejas with AMF, and then he was independent for a while. Very close to my father, and he was helping with one of the AMF machines, long filler, this and that. That there was a problem with something, and Emilio came to try to fine tune and adjust it with the rolling device and all that. And Emilio goes to my father. He says, Carlito, you got to check your tobacco because your cigars are burning up one side more. I've noticed it on and off. And my father, being like he was, he doesn't just stay. He said, oh, yeah, let me see what it is in his desk. He goes and he follows and he studies. He wants an answer. My father's very curious. So he started going to see Emilio working on the machine and doing this and testing stuff. He was there for a couple of days. And he noticed he'd get a cigar and he'd be bending like this down. And he'd go like this. And my father said, Emilio, moisture has a lot to do with combustion. Take your cigar out of your mouth. And he showed him the cigar. He had saliva dripping down one side. When he put his head down, I guess he's working with a cigar, and the saliva was dripping down the bottom side of the cigar, and that side was burning slower. So I remember those stories, but these are old classic stories that, everybody is like, well, why does this happen to me? There's wet smokers, moisture, it retards the combustion. And many things, if you have too much moisture in your humidor, everything, it's fascinating how many things could influence a cigar.
But the funny thing also is the people who are wet smokers, like we say, because they're not only do they put it right in the back, and that's how you built up a lot of tar also to that.
Sure. Thank God nowadays people don't smoke that. In the old days, I remember they got a cigar and they went all the way to the wisdom tooth. Exactly. And they're talking and they never took the cigar out of their mouth.
Another question? No, let's go back to Berta. Berta, simple question for you. A cigar, a place, and a friend. If you had the opportunity right now, a cigar, a place, a friend, and a drink, what would it be, those four things?
Those four things.
Yeah.
Right now, dead or alive?
Let's go with the people who are alive.
A cigar.
Uh-huh.
A cigar would be the one I'm smoking. 20th anniversary blue. A place would be my backyard. A drink. Chivas. And a person. Everybody knows that my son is my number one. Liana. Right now in my backyard. And Melanie, I was nervous because I didn't know what the heck you were going to ask me. And for one split second there, I totally forgot what pet peeves was. I was not going to say I didn't remember, but my pet peeve is seeing men saying that they smoke cigars, taking a cigar with the cellophane on and going, oh, this smells so good. That's my pet peeve.
Well, we're going to have
Thank you, Steve.
We're going to have to trade all that in for something else. It's not going to be the blue in your garden with Liana, but it's going to be a few seconds with Rich Myberg in Rich's Riot. Rich, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you very much. It's great seeing you, Berta, and Brenda liked saying hello earlier, but before we went online. And you mentioned a guy that early in your remarks, Felix Mesa. Here's a guy that speaks un muy poquito inglés. and I speak less Spanish, and we are best friends. Whenever we see each other, it is like we're communicating by the heart and by tobacco. He's a great guy. I'm glad you mentioned him. The other thing that you mentioned, you quoted somebody as saying, cigars are not addictive, cigar smokers are. That's wonderful, and I will not forget that. So early on, I put on my holiday hat here, my Santa Claus with the Opus X logo on there. If we can get that straightened out real quick. There you go. Oh, there's the camera. So that one's important, but this time of year, even more important than that is the other side of the hat, which has the logo for Cigar Family Charitable Foundation on the hat. And it's a time of giving for everyone. And don't forget the Cigar Family Charitable Foundation. The Fuentes and the Newmans do so much for those folks in the DR that it's great. Today's story, poor guy and his wife were in a car accident and she winds up in a coma. And it's about 4 months long and she's not responding. And then the nurses notice while they're giving her a sponge bath that when they get down to her pubic area, she starts to move a little bit. And they do that for several days. And they call in the specialist and he says, you know, you may be onto something there. And they call in the husband and say, listen, we're going to ask you to try something. We think if you perform some oral sex with your wife, she may come out of this coma. And he says, okay, but I don't want to do that with everybody in the room. They say, okay, no problem. We're going to leave the nurse's call button right here. And if you need us, call us. Well, a couple of minutes go by and the alarms start going off and they rush in. What's wrong? He says, I think she's choking. So, okay. Jeremiah, did you get it? You're on mute, Jeremiah.
I said, I have to be honest with you. I didn't.
El Papo got it.
I think El Papo got it. I was too distracted by the agenda of the show here. But yes, I can see by Papo's face that it must have been really bad.
Hey, I'm red again. I'm red. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed in the presence of my daughter, Cynthia, Berta, and all these beautiful ladies, Michi. You guys. Oh, my God.
Shit. Anyways.
Hey, make the disclaimer, Jeremiah, right away, the disclaimer.
Okay, seeing Carlito's face, I'm going to have to make the disclaimer. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is broadcasted out of Basel, Switzerland, okay? So whatever anybody says, it's okay. Oh, my God.
Rich, that was a beautiful one, Rich. My love to you and Brenda, man. Love you. Good to see you, man. Happy Hanukkah, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much, Rich. Thank you very much. Happy Hanukkah. Lots of luck and lots of light to you and your wife and the rest of the family. And see you next week.
Let me tell you something. That was a fastball by Mariano Rivera at 110 miles per hour.
That was a closer. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God! But anyway, we're coming to the end. First of all, Berta, Carlito,
you're gonna have to say the joke to me after the show because I missed it.
Yeah, it's where's Berta?
I don't know.
Berta disappeared with the joke, I think.
I think it was a little bit too strong. A little bit too strong for Berta. I hope her mother's not listening.
Oh, yeah, Dios mío. Berta, we're going to wrap it up, but I have to say something. First of all, it was an honor and a pleasure for having you on the show. You have been a so passionate voice, not only for the industry, not only for women, but also out of respect, loyalty, following traditions with a big heart. I'm not saying this because I've had this conversation with you. I've had it with people that are friends with you. I've seen you in DR. I've seen you at the show. You've always been nice to me, to Emma. You asked me about my kids. But at the end of the day, I know you might have had moments where you've been pissed off and angry, But what I've seen all the time is a smile, a hug, a kiss, your posts on Facebook, giving support to so many brothers and sisters of the Leaf, but also giving support to those who are starting off. So I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Emma sends you regard. Jasper sends you a kiss. And I hope, God willing, I will see you soon, whether it's the show or maybe if I'm in Miami one of these days. But I want to thank you for being such a great person.
Thank you. I do unto others as I would to myself. So,
Carlito.
Yeah. Now, before we bring in Carlito and Cynthia, of course, I just wanted to thank you again, Berta. I mean, everything Jose said
Thank you.
is so very true. I've had the honor to follow you throughout the years at the trade shows mostly. And, you're always with a huge smile, very positive, and such a delightful person to be with. And
thank you.
you're
Likewise.
a sunshine in the industry. And I think a lot of people appreciate it, including myself.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Honored. Thank you very much. Thank you.
There's no question. Berta's a superstar. There's so much that she contributes to the industry. People have no idea. She's always there. I mean, even since when she visited Cigar family, she created the Guayabera Lady Foundation. She started doing events to bring awareness, and one of the greatest supporters of Cigar family. But everybody knows her as Mama B. And Mama B because she's there for everybody, not just for the Fuente family, but for everybody. She's always giving so much love. She is a leader, and she's a role model for so many people to follow. She, in that aspect, she has been there for all the sisters and brothers of the Leaf. She is loved by everybody. I have never seen Berta angry. Never. She's always with a smile and always with a practical reason for solution to things. Berta's just a person that just only knows one thing: how to give love, how to share it, and how to teach by example. She is the perfect mom. She's the perfect daughter. She's the perfect friend, and she's a perfect role model, female role model. And I say female not to segregate from male, so forth, just because she happens to be a female. She's a perfect role model for the cigar industry because she represents all the values, all the dignity, all the respect, all the heart that a role model will demonstrate to the rest of the world. And I think she has been a leader in this because this is something that came natural to her. The cigars and the people in the industry, this is something that was organic, evolved, and by saying that proves how sincere Berta is. I know Berta for many years, and my father, even in his quietest moment when he wanted to be alone, his doors was open for Berta. Well, it ended up as Berta, yes, please come by, I'm okay. And my father, probably not feeling well and everything, put on his cologne, get dressed up, wait for Berta. Was started off, let's have a drink together. Ended up with about 18 hours of smoking 5 cigars and a couple of bottles of scotch. As a matter of fact, he had a bottle of Chivas that was made for him exclusively of some special year and blends of something like that, because Chivas found out my father was an exclusive Chivas fan, drinker. And he opened that bottle for Berta, and I never got a taste of it. And I always scratched myself in the head. You know what? My father has a thing for beautiful women, even though his right hand is shadow and everything. I was waiting for him to invite me. Yet Berta comes and she drank it all, and she didn't leave any left for us. So I know how special Berta was to my father. Berta, I want to say publicly to the world, thank you for bringing a smile to my father, for those happy moments you gave me when you would come spend time with him. For that, Cynthia and I, Liana, are forever grateful. We really appreciate that. We love you, Berta.
Thank you. I love you back. Thank you. Well, I'm sorry, Carlito, but Cynthia and I did get to share that bottle. I'm sorry you
Well, you
weren't
know
there.
what? No, it's okay. I didn't want to think about it because Cynthia. Okay, so you enjoyed it by yourself. I feel much better. Now I'm not gonna be able to sleep. Why Cynthia, not me?
Sorry, it just happened that we were there. Oh, and look, I want to show you. Ven, mama.
Beautiful.
Ven aquí. Beautiful. Ven aquí, que te quieren ver. Ven, ven. Yo no lo esperaba. This is.
Oh no! Wait,
This
levanta la
is
marca in person.
Bájate un poquito, mami. Bájate un poquito, mami. Bájate un poquito. Bájate un poquito. Agáchate. Que te puedas ver ahí. 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 Ay, mira, Carlito. Mira, Cynthia, Carlito. Te está dando.
Berta,
I'm giving it to
Berta, tell us about your.
Thank you.
Tell us about.
Thank
You. I love you. Te quiero
Ay,
mucho.
me too.
Me too. Berta, tell us about your aunts and her sisters. Bye-bye. Tell us about her sister and your aunts. You guys get together
My
all the
aunt
time.
is 94 and she sits down and smokes with me. Mind you, she retrohales the rosado like if it was nothing. She asks me for a shot of whiskey at 11 o'clock in the morning and she's 94. So I'm following her footsteps.
And your mom is how old now?
My mom is 90. She's going to be 91 in February 24th.
Gorgeous. Bella.
Thank you. Thank you. You made her day.
She made my day.
Thank you.
So have you.
Thank you. But honestly, that day, Carlito, that I was drinking with Cynthia and your father, I was sitting in the recliner you bought. So you were there in spirit.
Oh, thank you. I wish I would have been there in a couple of zips too.
Oh my Lord.
This was really
so. Yeah. All right, guys. We just want to be able to let you know exactly where you can find all of our previous aired episodes. Definitely go to our, there you go, tinyurl.com/The Professor Show. Subscribe, hit that bell button. And if it says everything, then you're going to get everything. And that's really all you need to know. Now, on Facebook, you can go to our Facebook page. It is actually facebook.com/The Professor Show. If you want to send your Nail the Professor questions there, we will absolutely get them and we can provide them. That way we can look before you guys are even on the show. So it's just very helpful. But if you don't, we can always take them here. And also, don't forget, we still have an Instagram page. It is instagram.com/ you got it, The Professor Show. Go there, like it, share it, and then give us some love wherever we're. If you guys are ever on the show, go ahead and share those too. So if you hit the notification button right now, and then you'll always, whenever we go Facebook Live, you'll see it. So
amazing. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Jose, who's on the show next week?
Well, next week we're going to have a what I would say one of the top retailers in the country. Good friend of Carlito. He was a good friend. We were talking about Fred Sanaboni today, and Carlito had a smile. And we're going to have the one and only Mr. Arto out of Pennsylvania. Art is he's a character, tremendous retailer, and he has a lot of stories to tell. And we've got a lot of laughs and a lot of insights. He sees the industry a little bit different than other people, but he is really a solid retailer. One of the best in the country, my good friend Arto. And we're going to have fun next week with him.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Another show of Fuente and Meerapfel present Meet the Professor, and what a show. This was absolutely formidable. We're looking forward to seeing you next week. Remember to take care of yourselves and of others. And please don't forget, if you don't do it with passion, do not do it at all. See you next week, guys, on our show. Bye-bye for now.
Bye. Have a great day.
Bye, folks.
See you guys next week.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Berta.
Rest your Sunday.
Yeah. Berta, baby. I know that you've given somebody the honor, if you ever get married, to be the best man. So if you need anybody to stand up as a groomsman and obviously a bridesmaid, you know who to call. Brenda and I are available.
All right, guys, you had an extra
love you,
joke for
Berta,
today's show.
very much.
Bye-bye for now.
We love you, Berta. Okay.
Bye.
Mwah.
Bye, guys.